Good morning, guys. Welcome to YSKhong Driving. We are up in Genting Highlands after having done the run. And what do we have here? This is the recently launched latest variant for the CX-8. This is the CX-8 2.5 liter turbo. So as the name suggests, it has a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine that delivers 228 PS and 420 Newton meters of torque. Yes, this is the same engine from the CX-9. So it's a very potent engine and it's in a body that is smaller than the CX-9. So you might say that this is a CX-5 7-seater or 6-seater, but you can't really call it that because CX-5 does not have the rigidity to have 6 or 7 seats, that means 3 rows of seats. So what they did was they took a CX-9 platform and they trimmed down the size to make it the CX-5 width but a bit longer. So you might say it is a bit shorter than the CX-9, same width as the CX-5 and a little bit taller. This is the CX-8 configuration. They couldn't call it a CX-6 or 7, so they called it the 8, I think. So anyway, basically what you see are CX-5 parts, but this one is a slightly different one because here you see a radar and up there you see a camera. And so what this CX-8 has is the full eye active sense, the Mazda equivalent of the AWD features. So it has your collision mitigation, braking, and also smart city braking in the city at low speeds against pedestrians and also other traffic. And it also has your lane departure warning and your lane keep assist. Also the MRCC, which is the Mazda radar cruise control, and of course it also has the blind spot warning, and that's about all the features it has here for the safety. Okay, so inside they have done some work, but let's look at it later. Let's look along the grille. You have a very nice grille, and these are projector headlights and they are LED. So LED lights are very important nowadays because as we drive at higher speeds, you need to have more illumination. But anyway, let's look along the sides. As usual, the CX-8 has got the McPherson struts in the front and multi-link suspension at the back. And the difference this time is we have 19-inch wheels with big ventilated discs. So the tire size is 225/55 R19. These are Toyo tires and they have outside inside, so these are quite specialist tires for SUV. I don't think they are made for very high performance because the profile is already 55 inch, so this is for comfort. So the fact that we brought it up to Genting doesn't mean that this is a race car. It is nice to drive, it can drive up, no problem, but it is meant for comfort. Okay, moving to the back, we have same size tires of course, and looking at the disc, yes, it's a solid disc and this is a multi-link rear suspension. And of course, in the spirit of SUVs, you have this cladding that goes along the sides and up to the front and underneath the front and through the back. So this is the cladding that you're supposed to get rid of, if you get scratched, so they are replaceable so you don't scratch your body. Okay, so let's take a look at the engine. Okay, good. So there's a little groove for that. So this engine is something that's quite familiar. It's in the non-turbo version is in the Mazda 6 and also was in the old CX-8 and also the CX-9. So this is the 2.5 liter Skyactiv engine from Mazda. Now it has a turbocharged version, and we'll see what comes with the Mazda 6 that's coming. That is supposed to be a 2.5 liter or so, I heard lah. So it could be this engine. in a rear-wheel drive sedan. So I don't know about the tuning, but this one is tuned for 228 PS and 420 Newton meters. And here you see the ECU is kept very nice and high. Yeah, and also you can see here the exhaust is on the other side, and it goes straight down and out at the back. So that means the engine can be lowered, and the intake is here, and you can see that this turbocharger also has an intercooler, because from the turbo it goes into the intercooler, and from the intercooler it comes back up into the engine. Insofar as the engine is concerned, it is fully aluminum. Intakes are plastic, and so even the engine mountings are aluminum. So this is a lightweight engine. What about the bonnet? Bonnet is still steel, and it's a little bit on the heavy side, but you can see the new way the car is built. The frame is here inside, and the cladding outside actually does not carry any strength. It's just meant as cladding, you know, covers to make the car look like a car, but all the strength and the structure is on the inside, like here. And then you see the mounts there for the suspension, and then there is also a brace that goes from one side to the other side. So that is why I'm confident to say that this body is very, very rigid, so that makes for good handling. And the front part here is very light, and only the radiator is here, and at the bottom there you have the intercooler. So that's about it for the bonnet. Let's go inside the car. Okay, let's take a look at the inside of the car. So, but before we do it, I want you to have a look. We just went through some rain and splattering mud and all that, so you see the outside of the car is dirty. Yeah, remember that. Now about the lock, you have your normal key fob that you can press to open, but here is also an easy access. Just press the button and it opens. And here is the part I was going to tell you about. You see here, the underneath of the door has got this part, and there's this rubber seal here that goes inside underneath. So when you get in and out of the car, especially like jeans, and you sit here, your jeans are touching the door seal here, there is no dirt, so you will not dirty your pants. See, so that's a very nice feature we have on this car. Starting is keyless. There you are. So inside, let's take a look at the steering wheel. It's nice and small, and okay, let me just get my seat back a bit. Okay, so the driver gets a 10-way adjustable seat, and co-driver gets a 6-way adjustable seat. So you can adjust it for height, you know, and then the rake of the bottom, then the rake of the seat, and for fore and aft. Yeah. Then the steering wheel is very nice. You can adjust it, of course, for reach and for rake. So it's very easy for you to find your ideal sitting position. And steering is this is about 13 inches, very nice car size, and this is very, very familiar. This is like in the sedan cars and also some of the CX models, very much the same. Of course, the leather is different. Yeah, this is Nappa leather for the car and for the steering wheel. And you can see here the controls are for the iActive Sense, so the cruise control distance setting, and also for the collision mitigation setting, all are here. And car has got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Then your entertainment and also your applications. You can check your fuel economy, your vehicle status. So the screen here, this is an 8-inch screen. This is a 7-inch screen here for your driving information. And your fuel economy monitor, there are two. They are not synced, so you can either use one or the other. Yeah. Over here you have the aircon louvers, very much like the CX-5. In fact, this whole dashboard is very much like the CX-5. Aircon is 3 zone, the rear aircon and 2 front zones, and is digital control and very easy to use. Down here you have your 6-speed gearbox automatic. This is the gear shift, the normal P, R, N and D. Then you, let's say you're in drive, you want manual mode, just pull to the right and it says you're manual. Minus is up, plus is down. So let's put it back into P. No pedal shifters, and your electronic handbrake and your auto hold. Now auto hold is a very good feature. When you press it, if you stop at the traffic light, even though you're on a slope, once you press the brake, then you release the brake and it will hold there, okay, indefinitely. Then of course there's a spare switch for your volume here. You can manually turn the volume up and down. And then there is one very important switch here. This is the sports mode. Just push up, you get sports mode in the meter. You push down, it goes normal mode. And that's it, just 2 modes, normal mode and sports mode. So other than that, driving the car is really nice. Headlights on the right and the wipers on the left. You have auto wipers, and yeah, there's a rain sensor, and you also have the intermittent, and there's also a phone charger, and you can put your phone in there and charge it. There's a switch on off. Yep, the phone is charging. And 2 cup holders here, and a center console with USB ports. And is there a power socket here? Yes, there's a power socket down here. Okay, so that's it for the front. Let's go to the back. Okay, so before we move to the back, there's some part here I forgot to tell you. This is the I-stop, which is the idle stop off. Also another override switch for the lane departure warning. This is the parking sensors, and this is the camera view. So when you press this button, you get the different views of the car on the screen up there. And finally, this is your rear boot opening. Yep, so you get a warning before the boot opens. Let's see if we can close. Yes, it can close the boot too. Okay, now let's go to the back. Okay, getting in and out is quite easy. And here we are in the rear seat. This is a captain seat, so it's very nice. Yes, it's reclinable, and you can slide mechanical, yeah. You can slide fore and aft to give the back passenger some room. Okay, so I'm in the default position here, and the front seat is adjusted to my normal driving position, so there is plenty of room. Like I said earlier, the wheelbase is 2930 mm, so it's really very long. Yeah, and the usual, oh my god, handles, and there are 4. I don't know why there are 4. There's no necessity for the driver to have one. And up here you have your reading lights, very good for the 2 passengers at the back. And you have your own aircon. This is single zone, yeah. You can control the fan speed, and you can control the temperature, and also for top and bottom. Yeah, this is for bottom only, this is for top only, so you can actually direct the direction of the wind, and also you can turn it off if you don't want it. Fantastic. So this is a real aircon control. And over here, this is the high spec, and this is the 2+2+2. So this is a 6-seater, yeah. And in the center here, USB ports. You can put a lot of stuff here. Not sure if it's air conditioned, but you do have drinks here. What is this? Oh, seat ventilator. Yeah, these are seat ventilators. They don't have hot air, they just have cold air. Not bad. And there are 3 speeds. By default, when you press the first button, you get 3 lights. Then you press again, you get 2 lights and 1 light. I pressed it twice, now it's 1 light and it's off. Press again, 3 lights on, 2 lights on, 1 light on. So this is the power of your butt cooler. Alright, so elsewhere, the seats, of course, they are Nappa leather, very nice and soft. And the second okay here gets to enjoy this seat very much. And yes, there are air curtains here, and the spec sheet says there are 6 airbags for this, so that means it's 2, 2, 2. Yep. So 6 airbags, not 7. That means there's no knee airbag. And of course, they have that regulation hole under the seat for you to put your shoes or your legs inside if you have very long legs. So this is quite a relaxing ride. Now we have to go to the rear seat and have a look. But just to show you, I have about 6 inches of knee room here, and this is in relation to the leg room I'm going to have at the back. So to get to the back, you pull on this seat and it slides forward, and then you get up. Okay, the seat is a little bit low, so it's actually meant for smaller size people. Okay, so here I am sitting in the 3rd row, and there's enough room for 2 people. And this is the same position that my middle seat was in just now. I am 164 centimeters and I still have another 4 inches. So therefore, the middle passenger can still recline the seat, or a person who is a little bit taller than me, maybe another 3 or 4 cm more, can still sit here. So this is a pretty good SUV. There is just enough headroom. So this is a 6-seater. Okay, let's take a look at the boot. Electric boot, opening and closing. There's also a remote from the front. Okay, this is the rear boot space when you have 6-seater. Of course, that's not going to be enough. You need to carry luggage, right? So really, this is a 4-seater with luggage, 6-seater with a little bit of luggage. And if you're going outstation, you need to put the seat down like this. Very simple. Pull, and there you go. And that is your boot space for your CX-8. Down here, this is the mat that Mazda gives with the car, and this is a little cover here. There is about 3 inches of space here for you to put your gold bars, in case you don't want people to know. And inside here, there is a space saver spare tire. And what's this? Ha! Thank you, Mazda. You have not forgotten the Nappa hook. There's one here and there's one over there. So guys, that's our take on the Mazda CX-8. Just to remind you, this is the high spec with the 2+2+2 captain seats in the center, 2.5-liter turbo engine with 228 PS, 420 Newton meters of torque, 6-speed gearbox, full iActive Sense from Mazda, and it's a lovely car. So would I want one? For me, it's not so suitable because there's only me and my wife, and we have an empty nest syndrome in the house, nobody around. So I don't need a SUV with 6-seater or 7 seats. But for people with children, especially if you have 2 kids, guys, it's time for you to consider something like this, because just imagine you and your wife in the front seat, 2 child seats in the 2nd row, and if you just have a 5-seater, you're not going to have much space left for anybody else. So therefore, you need 3 rows of seats if you have 2 kids. So this is something that's worth considering, because it's got power, it's got fuel economy. The claim fuel economy is 5.7 liters per 100. We have yet to test it out, but that's the claim figure. And from what I know of Mazda fuel consumption figures, they are quite accurate. So guys, this is it, the Mazda CX-8 2.5 Turbo. And if you want to know more and want to book one of these vehicles, please come to shop.yskongdriving.com. or send me a WhatsApp at 016-335-0609. And let's end this before it rains some more. Bye!